Hey, living environment fans from across the globe and worldwide, and even the extraterrestrial ones that are out there. It's time for another Belllringer. We just got back from a nice, beautifully long, relaxing break. Hopefully we're ready for some living environment science action here now to happen until our next break, which comes at the end of March. So we got about a month to work on various things. So let's see. Let's do today's Belllringer. We've got an Ed puzzle. Got a lesson for you to do today. We're back at it. All right. Hey now. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. Hey y'all, when we last met, we were talking about the cell life cycle, right? If you remember, cells are born, they go into what's called, that's good, where they're doing what they're supposed to do. And then they get this signal, and then usually two things happen. They're told either to go kill themselves, which we also call, good, I'm glad you remember that. And then the other option is to copy yourself, right? You copy all the DNA, that's called. And then after you've done that, you can go through the stages of dividing the nucleus, which is called, and then split the rest of your cell, which is called. Very good. That's a cell cycle, right? Interphase, replication, mitosis, cytokinesis. Those are the G1, S, G2, M, right? Those are the different phases of cell cycle. But we last talked about before the break, what happens when the cell cycle goes wrong. And unfortunately, that's the scariest word in English language, right? Yeah, something you don't want to hear about yourself or a loved one or anybody, really. So as we mentioned, cancer cells are not normal cells, right? They are your cells, but they're abnormal. Instead of dividing to grow, they just keep dividing and dividing. So they're usually smaller than normal cells. They never get their regular shape back. They wind up growing into these masses or lumps we call tumors. And then as little tumors, they don't stick together very well. So they tend to fall off of the tumors and into the bloodstream. And that's when we have issues, right? So we've got, this weird lump of cells is called a cancer, okay? A cancer. Now, not every lump of cells is a cancer. Sometimes cells will start to divide and divide, but they remain organized. We call that a benign tumor, or not something you have to worry about. The ones we worry about are malignant. They're the tumors, these tumors that don't organize themselves very well, especially don't stick together. And what happens is little cells will fall off of the tumor, enter the bloodstream, and then they can metastasize or move around to different places in the body. Right? That's when you hear people say like the tumor or the cancer has moved or spread. It's basically what's happened is you've got a lump of cells and some of them have fallen off into the bloodstream and then they travel through the bloodstream to somewhere else. So you can have skin cancer and then some of those cancer cells can giddy up and leave, take the bloodstream, then get stuck in your brain. And now you have cancer in your brain that are originally skin cells that are now causing issues in your brain. And that's why we always want to catch cancers before they metastasize, before they move. All right, so today in class, we're talking about some of the more, some cancers and those kinds of things. All right, and then, I know, an uplifting thing to talk about on our first day back.